Hello, welcome to Locked on Sharks, the premier hockey podcast of your favorite team in the Bay Area. And the Sharks have taken down the hated rivals, the Vegas Golden Knights, 5-2 victory. And the Sharks are starting to show something here of what this team actually is now that they've won 3 games in a row over 3 high-quality opponents, all on the road. So going to get into this game, talk about Nick Cicek's debut, talk about if this is the start of something for the Sharks. So all that and more on today's episode of Locked on Sharks.
You're Locked on Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, JD Young, contributor at Fear the Fin, San Jose Hockey Now. I want to thank you for making Locked on Sharks your first listen. We're free and available wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch this bad boy on YouTube as well. And the Sharks, they're kind of turning me, I'm getting a little excited about them. I mean, I was very clear on I think this team's going to be bad. Again, this is a small sample, but they're playing winning hockey right now, and sometimes it's not the prettiest hockey. You know, they're not going to go out and put up 5, 6, 7 goals every night, but you know, they got a little gumption, a little oomph to them right now, a little chutzpah, if you will. And they, you know, second game in a row, they're down going into the third period, and they come back and win the game. And the Sharks are very lucky to get out of the first period down 1-0, but this team they've kind of find a way to get back into these games. And you know, tonight it was the secondary scoring, right? You had Luke Cunnin scoring, Matt Nieto scoring on that Barabanov. We will talk about Barabanov and praise be to Barabanov soon enough, but you know, you got secondary scoring from these other guys. And then when you needed a goal, it was Timo time to take the lead. Couture and Ferraro ice it with empty netters. But right now, this formula is working for the Sharks. And I talked about the preview, the road to success for the Sharks, right? Hang around in the 5-on-5 game. Check. Win the special teams battle. Sharks were 1 for 2 on the power play. Vegas was 0 for 3 on the power play. Check. James Reimer, help you out when you need when you need you. James Reimer kept him in. Jack Eichel, amazing play, amazing goal. 1, don't leave Jack Eichel that alone. But 2, Reimer kept the Sharks in it when they were still finding their legs. And then you got to get contributions for the big guys. And Barabanov, 2 beautiful points tonight. That Matt Nieto pass, that pass is up to Matt. And Matt Nieto, great job. I've killed you on this podcast several times. Matt Nieto made a great play there, great set of hands to get that. But Barabanov did a lot of that work there. And then you got Timo Meier when you needed it most, right? Karlsson, 2 points tonight. Couture, empty net goal to seal it. You got everybody contributing to this team. That's the problem that we have not seen from this team to start the season, right? Is Karlsson contributes, nobody else. Or, okay, now you start getting the big guys. You get Hertl and Timo going, but you can't get any secondary scoring. Now they're clicking. Everything is clicking for the Sharks right now. And again, I don't think this is going to vault them into, you know, a playoff team or a Stanley Cup or anything like that type of situation, but they're playing much better hockey, and this team has gotten way better than they did when we first saw them at the beginning of this year. And they're minimizing their mistakes. They're playing complementary hockey, right? You're kind of setting yourself up. Your defense is, the defense is doing a solid job of trying to, just hang in there when it can. Reimer is kind of covering the mistakes, right? And then the offense is taking advantage of its opportunities. And we saw that tonight. You kill a penalty, big penalty in the third period. You kill a penalty. You had a lot of momentum. Vegas is starting again to get that momentum back. You kill a penalty, and then you earn a power play right after that. And what do you do? Timo Meier draws the penalty, and then he goes out and he scores the game-winning goal. Like, complimentary hockey of, setting yourself up for success. So, and I asked this question yesterday. If the Sharks win this game, do you have to start to think differently about them? And I think you do. Is there still a chance that this is a mirage and, this is the 2 or 3 best weeks of hockey that they play and then everything falls apart? Yes. What happens if Erik Karlsson gets hurt or Timo Meier gets hurt or Tomas Hertl gets hurt, or if those guys cool down and they're not being point per game producers at the pace they're currently on right now? Type of situation. But as this team is playing right now, we saw this, the shootout losses that they were having, right? You could see those kind of steps of things are kind of starting to come together for this team. And then now they're kind of being rewarded for that. Game they probably didn't deserve to win against the Stars just because, again, scoring 5 goals on 18 shots. Not the biggest recipe for success, but you won the game. Minnesota game, right? You're down 2-0. Your offense is sluggish. And then all of a sudden you kind of find it and you're getting, again, that secondary scoring and puts you back in the game. Barabanov wins it for you. This game, right? Vegas kind of took it to the Sharks. And when I say took it to the Sharks, first period, Vegas had 22 shot attempts compared to the Sharks 13. Actual shots on goal was 11-6. Scoring chances in the first period, this is all 5-on-5, 11-4. High danger chances 4-1. Vegas took it to the Sharks in the first period, but in the third period or in the second period, the Sharks turned it around. And then if it's adjustments, I know I think we have to give David Quinn his flower. I don't want to give it too early, but the way Quinn has this team kind of going right now, he knows exactly what these guys are. He knows kind of their formula to win, and it's working right now. So in the second period, shot attempts 4, 21-13 in favor of the Sharks. This is all 5-on-5. 61% Corsi 4 for the Sharks there. Actual shots 12-8 favor of the Sharks. High danger chances 2-2. Okay, scoring chances 9-3. So again, the Sharks took it. Turn it around. Third period, 13-38 of time of ice, 5-on-5, right? There was a couple of penalties, and then of course Vegas had empty net to end the game. 15-7 shot attempts. Again, Sharks scored a goal really pretty early into that second period, in that third period, so it was tied, and the Sharks are still taking it to Vegas, 15-7, and this is a Vegas team that is known. We've seen this Vegas team just when they get on a roll, it's a well-oiled, unstoppable machine. The Sharks took it to Vegas tonight after that first period. 15-7 shot attempts. Again, 5-on-5. This isn't just the Sharks taking advantage of power play opportunities. 15-7. Actual shots on goal was 7-4. Scoring chances 8-2. High danger chances 4-1. Expected goals 4.7. That was the Sharks' best period. The third period was their best period out of all the periods at 5-on-5. As the game got on, the Sharks took control of this game. That is something we have not seen from them in a long time. But before we continue, I do want you guys to know that this episode is brought to you guys by Built Bar. If you guys have not tried Built Bars by now, you are missing out, especially with the holidays now. There's so many desserts, and you're like, I don't want my third slice of pumpkin pie right to the gut. Like me, got a little bit of that dad bod going. That's where Built Bars come in. Great way to kind of get that little snack, get that dessert flavor. They've got a cookie dough topper, coconut brownie bar, coconut brownie topper. They have a white chocolate peppermint granola bar. This Built Bar's take on the granola bar, so it's more filling and insanely tasty. You can they have candy cane brownie puffs. They have a bunch of holiday flavors, so go check them out right now. And if you don't, none of those flavors sound right, they have a variety box so you can figure out what your favorite Built Bar is. So sink your teeth into the first bite, and it'll change your life forever. Seriously, go check out the new bars. And right now, get 15% off when you use the code LOCKEDON15 at built.com. Again, 15% off your order right now by using the code LOCKEDON15 at built.com. All right, so let's get into the kind of the nitty gritty of why the Sharks were able to kind of come back and win this game. And, I talked about the contributions from all the different lines, but still, the engine to this team right now is Tomas Hertl, Timo Meier, and Kevin, that first line, right? Kevin Labanc he's there doing stuff, but Hertl and Meier are driving this team still. 1346 time on ice at 5-on-5, 21 shot attempts for. So again, the Sharks had grand total of 49. They had 21. They almost had half the shot attempts by themselves. 10. Corsi allowed 10. Shots on goal were 6 of 6. No goals at 5-on-5 from that team. Scoring chances 10-4. High danger chances 2-2. And again, getting the premier. David Quinn knows this is my best chance to score. This is my best chance to win games. Is leaning on this line. 7 offensive zone starts, 6 neutral zone starts, 4 defensive zone starts. Love to see that. That is what you're rewarded on the power play with a goal by those guys. Next, at 5-on-5, time on ice, a little over 10 minutes. Cunnin, Sturm, Bonino. This number was way uglier. I was checking this during the game. It was way uglier, and they kind of made it look a lot better as we went through. 7-9. Corsi 4 allowed. Actual shots was 6-4 in favor. Had a goal and gave up a goal. That one goal, the Jack Eichel goal. So the defense are in the right position, right? Cicek is kind of on on James Reimer's right side there, and Jack Eichel's out, kind of hanging out at the in the face-off dot, right? Cicek can't really he goes out there to make a play, he kind of leaves his backside open for one of the other Vegas forwards to kind of make royal road pass right there. So that's where the forwards were out of position. They were all slammed over on the one side and they couldn't get back. So I do not blame that on Cicek. I think Cicek played a great game. I'll talk about him in a little bit, but that's where the forwards, they were just kind of out of position and they could not kind of shift over to cover Eichel in time there. So I think Sturm was the closest one, but so I think Bonino and kind of were both on the same side, and one of those guys needed to be on the other side. So that was my kind of breakdown of what went wrong there. So again, with Cicek, you don't want to, you want to keep him close to the crease. If he goes out to try to contest, that just leaves Eichel kind of open. If a case of a cutting forward makes, Cicek's not going to be able to play up close and back at the same time. So next line, Couture, Barabanov, Nieto. 11, little under 10 minutes time on ice, 5-on-5, 11 shot attempts for, 6 allowed. Actual shots on goal is 4-4. Had a goal, gave up a goal. But Barabanov tonight, man, possessed. Way he was winning, just winning battles, using his speed, again, he's not the biggest guy, but the way he uses his size well to kind of create space for him. But then the way he makes the rest of his line better, right? Great play from Matt Nieto, who's cutting towards the net, right? And again, Matt Nieto, showed some nice hands there. I've I still would like to see somebody else play there. But again, Matt Nieto played made a nice play to score that goal. But Barabanov did the heavy lifting on that goal of, winning a board battle and then making a great pass to a streaking Matt Nieto. Having the sense of knowing Matt Nieto is cutting, let me get a pass out there to him. So, but yeah, Barabanov using his speed, using his vision. Him and Couture have worked really, really well together, and we're seeing that. I talked at the beginning of the year of like, you got to find Couture a line mate. We have found Couture, at least one. We found Couture Barabanov. If we can find him another William Eklund, you're going to be cooking with gas on that line. So, and then Lindblom, Lawrence, Svechnikov, 6 shot attempts, 8 allowed. Actual shots on goal was 5-4 in favor of them. I think they were very quiet in the first period, but that second period you saw they really started to help kind of get the offense going, and they had some really solid shifts in their own zone, especially that second period when the Sharks were kind of building that momentum. That line did a lot of it, so good for them. Again, I think all the forward lines really kind of helped in this game tonight, and especially the Hertl. I mean, that Hertl Timo line is absolute menace, and especially against a very, very good Vegas team. So quick peek at the Vegas line. Like, only one Vegas line actually had like a positive Corsi. That was Kessel, Howden, and I think it's Cutter. 7 shot attempts against 3. But like the Stevenson, Eichel, Stone line, 16 shot attempts, 4, but they gave up 19 shot attempts. Marchessault, Karlsson, Smith, 11 shot attempts, 4, but gave up 12. William Carrier, Nicholas Waugh, Keegan Kolesar had 6 shot attempts, but gave up 7. So, the Sharks, especially that Eichel, Stevenson, Stone line, that is pretty impressive to limit that line. You did give up a goal, but you got one back on them, and you kind of you didn't let them take over this game, especially in a game where with how hot that line has been. The Sharks made that line work. So before we continue, we're going to talk about Cicek, who I thought looked really good tonight. Talk about Erik Karlsson a little bit. Do want to let you guys know, of course, about the Locked On Sports Today podcast. Thank you guys for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. For your second listen, go check out the Locked On Sports Today. From the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports Today, available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get podcasts. All right, let's talk about the defense a little bit. So again, Nick Cicek's first game tonight, he coming in for Radim Šimić, and I was very, very impressed with Cicek tonight. I thought, he didn't show, he showed he wasn't scared at the moment. Quinn gave him some penalty kill time. I know, especially on that Magna one, they didn't really have too many options because Magna was in the box and Karlsson really doesn't play power or shorthanded time. Karlsson played 10 seconds of shorthanded time tonight, but I really liked Cicek's game tonight. Played 17 minutes. He definitely got shut down a little bit in the third when the game was close or tied, and they were trying to trying to score a goal there. But I thought he was physical. He had a couple shot attempts, shot on goal. He wasn't afraid to shoot there, and he looked good in his own zone. Had some nice plays behind the board. I think you have to be excited with the way Cicek is. Cicek going to be, the next Erik Karlsson or something like that? No, of course not. But can he be your next Jacob Middleton, who can be, a good defensive player, provide a little bit of offense, help out a offensive defenseman? I think so. And you have to be, especially a very, very good team like Vegas, I think you have to be really, really happy with the way Nick Cicek played tonight. So kudos to him. A great game from him. I was very happy with him. I know a lot of fans were very happy that he got a chance to play tonight, and I thought he played really well, and I think he should continue to play as long as Radim Šimić is out. And then once Šimić gets back, then you can have a conversation then. But he handled himself really well, especially against a very, very talented forward group that Vegas Golden Knights are. And, I didn't see any no glaring oh, that was a bad play or he should have done no glaring kind of plays like that. I thought he played really, really well tonight. And I think Sharks fans, we should be happy with that. So again, anytime you can find these defensemen who can kind of come in and play, bottom basically for free, right? Bottom pairing, potentially second pairing defenseman minutes. You got to be, and they're on very cheap contracts. You got to be happy with that. So, yeah. Erik Karlsson, buddy. One, does Erik Karlsson have the yips when it comes to walking the blue line? Because it's 2 games in a row now with the toe pick and falls down. Shout out Kyle says he should just do it every game now, which would be hilarious. But also, oh God, I don't think I could handle that. But Karlsson, another 2 assists tonight, assisted on the Sturm goal, and then was it's not the Sturm goal. Sorry, assisted on the Luke Cunning goal. Nico Sturm did a great job there of, again, setting that up, winning a battle behind the net, finding Karlsson at the point, and then Karlsson shooting. And then Erik Karlsson also assists on the Couture empty netter as well. But he had a pass that I think it was called it was the Hertl offsides thing, where he's coming along the right side, cross the eyes bank pass straight to Hertl's stick, and as everyone, I think people were still trying to get back on side type of thing. But just who tries that? And not only who tries it, who does it? Erik Karlsson is feeling himself this year, and I know there's all the oh, are they going to trade? No. Yes. Mike Greer's job is to listen to every offer, right? That is your job as a general manager, is listen to every offer, because who knows, somebody could come up to you and be like, hey, I'll give you 4 first-round picks for Erik Karlsson, and you would have to be like, okay, let's do that type of thing. But his job is to listen to every offer. Does that mean Erik Karlsson is getting traded? Again, Erik Karlsson has a no movement clause, so it doesn't matter if the Toronto Maple Leafs came up and said, we'll give you every draft pick we have out of the next 3 drafts. And Erik Karlsson's like, I don't want to go to the Toronto Maple Leafs. That deal is not happening. Okay. Another one. He has $11.5 million contract for the 4 years after this year. So yes, Erik Karlsson's been playing outstanding hockey this season. Are you going to bet the next 4 years of your future or your job security on a month of play from Erik Karlsson? Because if somebody trades for Erik Karlsson, right, and then he turns back into a pumpkin, you're going to get fired. Sorry, that's just what's going to happen, right? Or if you're the Sharks and you're like, cool, we'll eat. We just want to get rid of him. We'll eat half the contract. Guess what? You still have to find someone to replace Erik Karlsson's production. And I don't know, a guy like John Klingberg, right? Offensive defenseman, little bit younger than Karlsson, right? I think he's 30, right? He signed a 1-year, $7 million deal with the Ducks this year. Let's just say you get another defenseman, $7 million. So you're going to pay Erik Karlsson $5.5 million, basically a little under $6 million for the next 4 years to not play on your team. Plus, you got to pay another defenseman like $7 million, and that guy's nowhere near as good as Erik Karlsson. So you're going to be playing someone. You're going to be basically paying $12 million because you didn't want to play Erik Karlsson, and you have to replace his production. I'd rather just keep Erik Karlsson. So it's not happening. He's not moving anywhere. We can stop. Just stop. Until you see the Erik Karlsson is open to being traded headline, or Erik Karlsson has approached Mike Grier about a trade, or that type of thing. Yes, it's Mike Grier's job to look at every potential option of trades available. Is it going to happen? No. Anyway, Erik Karlsson was awesome tonight. Erik Karlsson continues to be awesome. Erik Karlsson has firmly planted himself as a potential Norris candidate this year, especially if the Sharks can kind of drag themselves out of being one of the 5 worst teams to being a middle of the pack team that they're currently doing right now. He's going to get more notoriety. The Sharks start scoring more goals, and he's, again, continues to put up 2 points a night or whatever he's doing right now. Erik Karlsson is going to be a Norris candidate finalist, and you should enjoy that. That is why you traded for him, is to be a Norris, to be one of the best defensemen in the world, and he is that right now. The Sharks have won. I can't believe it. They beat Vegas. First time they beat Vegas is 2019, January 2019. That's ridiculous. In regulation, that is. Sorry. First regulation win in Vegas since 2019. It's insane. All right, that's going to do it. I know the tank might be dead, or at least for now. The tank might be on pause for now. That's fine. Let's enjoy the ride. The Sharks are fun to watch. Let's enjoy the ride right now. So that'll be it for me today. Be back tomorrow. Get you guys ready for the Red Wings game as the Sharks get home. Red Wings, this is a pretty winnable game for the Sharks. So we'll get you guys ready for that. Make sure you guys are following along on all these social medias, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. Sorry, there's no clips tonight. Once a week, I'm going to be doing the playback. So if you want to actually hang out with me and watch a game, and I kind of do live commentary with my buddy Rodney, you can go check that out. So we're going to be doing once a game. I think we're probably going to be doing the Kings game next week for Black. So we're going to be doing once a week. So come hang out. Make sure, though, you're following along Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Locked On Sharks. That we know whenever a new episode comes out, see the memes, all that fun stuff. Listen, Apple, Spotify, Odyssey, Amazon Music, you name it. Wherever you can listen to a podcast, you can listen to this podcast. You can watch on YouTube, youtube.com/LockedOnSharks, I think, or just Google look for Locked On Sharks YouTube or whatever. Follow me on Twitter at MyFryHole, and be back tomorrow. Until then, bye, friends.